Hi and welcome everyone. Yeah, some of you saw me sneaking in for a second. Hi, welcome to our Create and Connect February 2026 event kit unboxing. I'm Kathleen and I hope everything's working well. I hope I'm live and I hope you can see me, hear me. And behind the scenes on the Pinkfish behind the Pinkfish studio name, it's Kinnery today, helping me out in the chat to answer any questions that you might have. And I'm sorry for the lighting, but it's completely dark outside now, and it's just, yeah, lighting is terrible. But you're not here to see me; you're here to see the goodies. So, yeah. Kinnery said, "Glad to see you in this outfit, Kathleen." Yeah, there's a special reason behind this. I would maybe touch up on it in a second. Okay, so I will show you all of the goodies, well, almost all of the goodies that we have for you in our February event kit. The event is called Creative Passport. So the classes, the designs for the classes were inspired by different cultures all around the world. And I mean, you know, there's only 6 classes, so, well, 5 themed classes, and then there's always Jennifer's kind of mix and match class. So we had to pick and choose. Of course, there are so many more cultures that are inspiring that we could have chosen. You know, the list is pretty much endless. So, but I think we came up with a nice variety, a nice selection of different cultures, different designs to give you something different and something fun for this event. Just a few things before I show you the goodies. For those who have never joined an event before, because I was looking at the chat for a little bit and I saw that some of you were saying they've never joined an event, it's their first time here. So I just want to give you a quick sort of idea of what this Create and Connect event is. And basically, it's a virtual event, a virtual card making event that happens over a weekend, so Saturday and Sunday. This time it's going to be on February 21st and 22nd. And there will be 6 live classes. Each class is 2 hours long. You have 6 different instructors. You may have seen the instructor lineup in the beginning. So there is Carissa Wiley, JC Gaspar, Janis Makula, Jennifer McGuire, I'm blanking, Dawn Wolfslegel, and myself. And all of these 6 instructors is going to teach a 2-hour live class on YouTube Live, which will be recorded. So you will be able to watch this on a replay whenever you want or as many times as you want. So even if you live in a time zone that, you know, doesn't really allow you to watch live, or you have some other commitments over the weekend, you can just watch the replay. Of course, it's always fun to join in live, but even if you can't, you know, you can always go back later and watch the classes, or just pick and choose which ones you might want to watch live and which ones you want to watch as a replay. So you have 12 projects in the live classes, 2 cards per class, and then you get 12 more projects. So again, 2 projects per instructor as a make and take. All of the make and takes have a video as well as written instructions, but this is a pre-recorded video. But that means in the end, you have 24 projects with your event kit, all with video instructions, all with written instructions, with a printed booklet, and tons of inspiration. And that's basically, you know, the general idea behind the Create and Connect events. And of course, as the name suggests, it's not only about creating, it's also about connecting. So we also have a private Facebook group where all the instructors are, where the participants can join if they want to, and just interact with each other, chat with each other, post their projects, ask questions. It's always a great place, especially if you're a beginner, I would say, to ask questions, to get some advice, some help. You know, I think it's always a great community in those groups, with lots of interaction and lots of community and lots of connection. Okay, so one thing, if you have a question, it would be really helpful if you could put the word question in all caps at the beginning. That helps Kinnery and myself to kind of catch the question as the chat is flying by. And as I go into, what's included in the kit, just one quick thing, because I saw a question if colored cardstock is included. No. The reason being that some people, so our instructors are always asked to start with a white cardstock. And that means that everyone joining will be able to recreate those projects. You don't have to have a certain colored cardstock. You don't have to hunt for the right color. So our instructors get creative with just white cardstock and then go from there. But of course, you're always welcome to use whatever you have. If you prefer to make your card base, for example, out of colored cardstock, you totally can. And same goes for inks. So inks are not included. We always include which inks are going to be used, so that you can see if maybe you want to stock up on certain inks. But in the end, you can just use whichever ink colors you have. And in the past, in those Facebook groups, people also shared some lists with sort of ink comparisons. Let's say you have the full range of, I don't know, Hero Arts inks, but you are missing some Pink Fresh. So some people shared the ink comparison to see which comes closest. And that kind of ties into the question if we will limit the color palette for this event, so that you don't need as many ink colors on hand. Kinnari already answered it. We give full freedom to our designers to create. That is actually the point. We want our instructors to be able to create something that fits their style, that makes their style shine. And we have instructors who maybe are really good at bold colors and some who will prefer maybe more pastel colors. So that is why we don't limit the colors and why we don't sort of dictate the colors to the instructors. But again, you can always just switch out the colors. Question, do you have to do homework for the classes ahead of time? We always share homework. Yes, that helps with being able to keep up in class. If you don't do it, you can still, do the class. You might just not finish it, but since there is a replay available, it's not a big deal if you can't get around to doing your homework. But yes, we always do have some homework just to make sure that we don't have to rush through a class and can get some of the sort of more basic tasks, like maybe die cutting a background, out of the way. And then one more thing I wanted to mention before I, get into the good stuff, and you're probably all thinking like, okay, turn the camera finally. Today, we are also going to give away a free spot for the event. So all you have to do is just be active in the chat. And at the end of this unboxing, Kinnari is going to randomly pick a winner who will get a free spot in the event. And for everyone else, registration opens tomorrow at 9 a.m. CT. And if you want, you can already go to the website. You can find the link in the video description and sign up for a restock notification so that you get an email as soon as the event is in stock. So you get the notification and you can sign up right away. Okay, enough talking. I'm going to flip my camera so that you can finally see a peek at what we have in store for you. So you can see here, this is a good stack of product. And the kit is, I forgot to mention, so the full kit is $275. That includes all of the products that I'm showing you today and a few more that I will mention. And the education is always free. So the retail value of all of the products combined is $367.50. And you can get the kit for $275. So that means you have a discount of 25%. And those $367.50 only include the product. We don't count the education. We don't hike up the prices to, tell you that we have like a 80% discount on the event or something like that. Okay, so I'm going to start with the essentials. So we always have a class kit for each class or for 5 of the classes. And then at the end, Jennifer is going to stretch, or her class is called Stretch Your Supplies. So she tries to combine the supplies from the previous classes in a creative way to, stretch your supplies. And then you always have a set of essentials that each instructor can use if they want to. And Carrie, it's not sold out already. We just added it as sold out so that you can read the event description. It's not sold out. Registration opens tomorrow. Don't worry. And also, almost all of the products that I'm showing you are exclusive to the event. And you can also find that in the product description. Behind each product we included, if it is, we included that it's an event exclusive. So that means we will not be releasing that as a retail later on. And then one nice thing that I want to mention, you always get your products in these little baggies with a description of, the class or what's included, so that you can keep them organized. You can put your sort of homework pieces, your card bases and so on in here so that you have everything ready to go. Okay. Finally. Okay, so the essentials is going to include this 4x6 clear stamp set called Boundless Heart. So it's, as you can see, it's a sentiment only stamp set with a nice mix of kind of a typewriter or sort of serif font, and then the scripty font, and some really nice large ones that are just general things, general sentiments that work for lots of different occasions. Things like, thank you for being wonderful, may blessings surround you, distance means little to the heart, you deserve all the joy in the world, thinking of you today, to a dear friend with love, and then two smaller ones, wishing you rest, renewal, and adventure, and together is my favorite destination. So you have 8 different sentiments, and then you get a coordinating sentiment die set that cuts with a die for each of the sentiments. You also get a cover plate die that's A2 sized. And again, as most of our cover plate dies, it does not have a cut line, so that you can cut your card base directly, or you can even cut a larger piece of cardstock by just replacing the die. And yes, this is a great sentiment stamp set for everyday cards, which, I think are kind of like the most fun cards that you send just because. And you can, of course, combine this with any other set that you have in your stash. That's the nice thing about these event products. They are not only good for the event. The idea is that you can use them over and over. There was a question about tariffs for Canadian customers. So when you check out, everything is already calculated. So shipping and taxes, all of those things are already calculated at checkout. So this is what you pay. This is like the final price. There's nothing more that comes on top that you have to keep in mind. So what you pay in the end is what you get, or what you pay. So this cover plate die, I already like it as a die, but to be honest, once I die cut it and ink blended it, I loved it even more. So yeah, this is perfect for A2 size. And of course, as with all cover plate dies, you can also use them for dry embossing. Is there a get well sentiment in these? In this one, not a get well as such. I'm not sure about the other sets, to be honest, right now, but we will see. Now, in the essentials, you also get, ooh, shiny, 6 sheets of reflective cardstock. So they are 4 1/4 by 11 inches. So that means that you can get 2 A2 size panels out of each of these reflective cardstock sheets in 6 different colors. And we will have some fun, incorporating these in the class. Yeah, exactly. Ooh, pretty. Ooh, shiny. And then there's also a pack of bling, which I don't have yet, but it is also part of the essentials. So, if you are familiar with our products, you will know our bling. It's going to be a different set. It's not a pack that we have in the shop as such, but similar to something that we have, you will get a pack of bling. So let me just put this in here. So these are the essentials that all of the teachers can incorporate in their classes. And then let's start with class number 1. Just an FYI, right now, so I'm going by the order that the product description put the classes, but February is still a bit away. So the order of the classes might change depending on kind of the schedule of our instructors, but it doesn't change the product itself or like the class itself. So the first one is the Shizuku Sakura with Carissa Wiley, and I'm just going to refer to it from now on as Cherry Blossom, because I don't like pronouncing it Sakura or anything, but I also don't want to kind of break my tongue all the time. Yes, so this is a 3-piece product suite. You have 4x6 clear stamp set with this beautiful large floral cluster with cherry blossoms. And then some smaller sentiments. You have a coordinating die set that cuts out all of the sentiments apart from the You Are So Kind, which, it's just a strip. So you can easily cut that into a sentiment strip. You have Grateful with Love and Sending Hugs, the die. And then you get the layering stencil set to color in this beautiful large cherry blossom branch. And this one is in the class kit for Carissa. So Kinnery also put a lot of thought into which instructor is going to work in their class, at least with which product suite, so that we could kind of make sure that that their style also works well with the product suite and kind of enhances it. So I think Carissa is a perfect choice for the cherry blossoms. And I'm sure she's going to do some beautiful projects with it. And as I mentioned, each instructor is also going to create 2 make and takes. These 2 make and takes are then with other product suites. So that means that for each product suite, you get 4 different projects in the end, 2 from the class instructor, and then 2 more from 2 different instructors. So let's say, for example, this one is Carissa's class kit, and I'm not sure right now who does what, but like for the make and takes, but let's say, for example, I'm also doing a make and take with this one, and then maybe Dawn Wolfslager would do one. So you have 3 different styles, 3 different instructors for each product suite, which I think is really nice to get just different looks out of these products. So this was the first one. I think there was a question. Does the die cut one piece only? Yes, because it is one large branch. So all of these, as you can see, they are all connected as one large branch. But I'm sure Carissa will get creative and kind of, maybe snip it apart or something, so she's not only using the full branch the whole time. I don't know, but, I'm guessing. Okay, so next class is class kit number 2 is the Santorini Blue and Amalfi Lemons with Dawn Wolfslager. And fun fact about this one is that this one, oh, there's Dawn, that this one was also designed by her. So she gets to work with her, with the set that she designed. And I know that I get this one for the make and take, which I'm really excited about, because I was kind of sad that I, wouldn't work with this one in my class, but I get it because, of course, Dawn designed it, so she should work with it in her class. But I'm happy that I get to work with it in the make and take. So you have a 4x6 clear stamp set called Amalfi Lemons, and you have these 2 larger lemon groups, lemon clusters, or like a branch with beautiful blossoms, and they are merged onto one stamp. So you stamp one time, but then the die, even though the die is merged as one as well, let me just get that out. you get 2 separate die cuts. But that just makes lining everything up so much easier because you don't have to spend so much time, lining up lots of different stamps, stencils, and dies. And then you have thank you, best wishes, and you're a great friend. So some, more basic sentiments, but I think great because we can always need those. So you have a coordinating die for the thank you. And then you have, of course, a layering stencil set to color in those beautiful illustrations. Very excited about this one. I know I shouldn't pick favorites, but still, And then another fun product is the Santorini Blue stencil set. So this is a stencil, layering stencil only with 6 layers. And these can be used to create this beautiful Santorini background. And, just imagine the lemon branches here. I already want to kind of pack my suitcase and go on vacation. But very excited about this and very excited to see Dawn back creating. Question. I think there was a question and it flew by. So if Kinnery didn't answer, then please just ask again. I'm not ignoring you, but sometimes comments fly by real quickly. But yes, so this is the second class set. And very excited, very beautiful. Then the third one is for JC Gaspar's class. And if you know JC, you will know that he's especially great with florals, with lush florals, like really dramatic, rich floral cards. And this is why Kinnery decided to pick this product suite for him. And I think it's a perfect fit. So you have this, it's called Oriental Bloom. So you have these kind of Oriental, very flourishy, very flowing floral, this illustration. And then you have my heart is with you, may blessings surround you, and you are cherished as sentiments. A coordinating die set, so one for the floral image and one for the large sentiment, because again, the other 2 are really easy to cut out as just sentiment strips or on a sort of a label. And okay, again, sorry if I'm missing questions. And then you have the layering stencil set. I'm so sorry. I feel like I'm missing a question, but I think, Kinnery probably answered it. If not, I just ask again. So yeah, you have this very rich, and especially the mock-up already gives you this idea of this really dramatic floral. So I'm excited to see what JC is going to do with this. I'm sure it's going to be gorgeous. And again, you get 2 more instructors working with this so that you have tons of inspiration for each product suite. And again, the sentiments are more on a general side, but this was a conscious decision so that it would be something that you can use over and over again and feel like, it's not a stamp set that is sort of tied to just one specific occasion. Okay, next one is actually mine. It's called Nordic Tale. Well, I should say it's designed by Ina Moreva, but it is for my class. And this one has more of a kind of a Nordic, Scandinavian, or maybe even Eastern European touch to it with these illustrations. And you have 4 separate illustrations that you can then, of course, again, die cut and use the layering stencils to color them in. So you get, again, it's merged onto one stamp, merged onto one die, but you get 4 different elements so that you can create your cards and build your cards and pick and choose which ones you want on your card. So you don't always have to use, let's say you don't like the bunny, or the rabbit. Is it a bunny? Is it a rabbit? I don't know. let's say you don't like this one, you prefer florals, then of course you can only use the florals, or you can use everything, or you can, this is the great thing about those one piece dies and stems. You stamp this thing one time, you ink blend everything, stencil everything in, die cut it, and then you have die cuts for several cards if you want to. And then you have You Are a Great Friend with a coordinating die. So grateful for you and thank you. And remember, I know if you, when you look at the sentiments in the sets that I've shared so far, we usually have one that is a little bit larger and then some smaller ones. But remember that the sentiment stem set in the Essentials has these really large, beautiful sentiments. So if you prefer something that's a bit bolder, that's a bit, you know, takes up a little bit more space on your card, there's always this stem set. There was a question about press plates. And I think Kinnery just answered. We will figure out some sort of press plate class with hot foil and letterpress soon. So right now, yes, you can see that we indicated, you know, a coordinating press plate for each design, but all of these things are still kind of to be determined. So yeah, it's not that I'm gatekeeping. It's just that really I don't have any more information that I could share right now. Okay, so Kinnery said we have not designed any press plates for this event kit. Some designs are very intricate and press plates did not work for all. So it's just that, you know, when we had these designed, or like the, you know, stamps die stencil and all of the backing cards, we had to make a decision. So I think these were included in case we have press plates, but yes, there will be sort of a press plate class, event, whatever, something next year, I'm sure, because so many people are always asking about press plates. And I yeah, you know, me too. I really want a press plate class or event because I love press plates. But yes, there, you know, there will be something, but right now for this event, there's nothing sort of planned. So if you don't need to wait for any sort of, you know, update or anything when it comes to signing up tomorrow. If you are excited about this kit, about this event, then just sign up. And even, let's just say, we for some reason find a way to do sort of a press plate add-on or something. In the past, we also found a way to make it work for people who already purchased the event. So let this not be kind of like an obstacle or something that keeps you from signing up. Okay, so this was the set for my class. And this is the final class kit. This is for Jana's class, Jana's Makula, and I think it's the perfect fit for her. This is the Chirpy mithu, and this is inspired by an Indian parakeet and all of these beautiful florals. So you have, again, this kind of Indian inspired design here. So a little bit more sort of Oriental flourished and more, I want to say, kind of abstract versus very, you know, realistic. And you have this beautiful large branch with the parakeet and 3 sentiments: bravo, thinking of you, and just a note. Again, on the smaller side, because you can always use the coordinating or the essential stamp set, sentiment stamp set. And then you have the coordinating dies and the layering stencil set. And I mean, look at this. This just screams Jana's Makula. Like, you know, when I saw this set, when I saw the design mock-ups, and before it was determined who was going to work with what, I just knew this was going to be Jana. Yeah, so this is, I'm really excited about this one. I'm sure she's going to make something beautiful with this. Just, you know, her bold colors, her bold dramatic contrasts on her cards are perfect for this set. How many layers are the bird stencils? This is a 6-piece layering stencil set. I think most of the stencil sets are either 5 or 6 pieces. Let me just check real quick. Yes, so this one, the Oriental Bloom, is the only one that has 4 layers. All of the others have either 5 or 6. So you get lots and lots of stamps, dies, stencils, you know, just to give you. So let me just put everything that I've shown you. And remember, the bling, I don't have the bling yet, so I couldn't show you that, but that's also included in the kit. And we always include some sort of event swag that is, you know, is high value and useful. So that is also on top of all of the product that I have for you here. So all of this and this. And then also I want to show you this. Of course, we don't have the instruction booklet yet because, you know, we still need to create all of the projects for this. But for those who have never joined one of our events before, I wanted to share, just give you a quick glance at what our, because it says in the event description that there is a printed booklet. But, you know, sometimes you're like, okay, but what is it? Is it like 5 pages or what is it? It's actually a 40-page printed booklet with instructions, with homework, with detail photos, with supply lists, with a place for notes, the ink supply, like the ink list of all of the inks that were used, the schedule, everything. So this is also something that you get in your kit and that you can keep on hand and refer to as you go. Like, let's say when you look at your class or look at the classes later on. Okay, let me flip my camera and just make sure that we get all of the questions answered before we pick our winner and before I say goodbye. So let me just see real quick. I would love to hear which of these classes or like the class kits you are most excited about, which is your favorite, at least from, you know, looking at it right now. And yes, so someone said, I love the QR code that takes us, you know, that takes us to everything that we need. Exactly. So we make it really easy for you. In the booklet, you also have a QR code, a printed QR code, that when you scan it, you get access to the Facebook group, to the YouTube playlist with all of the event classes. So we make it as easy as possible for you that you can find everything in one place. Question, will the participants receive a discount to purchase the class inks? So in the past, we always offered some sort of discount for our event participants. I can't give you an exact, like, what's it going to be, how much, for what. If Kinnary wants to share or already has an idea, you know, I leave that up to her. But I can only say that in the past, yes, we've always had an event sort of discount code for our event participants. Okay. Again, if you have a question, please put the word question in all caps so I can kind of easily see it as the chat flies by. Okay, that's fun. I think I saw every class being mentioned as sort of the favorite. So that's nice that, you know, there's each of the classes has someone who loves that one the most. I think that's always great to have this variety. Question, what size are the cards? Usually they are A2 size. Sometimes, I think in the past, Jennifer sometimes made, or I think also Jana made like a 5x7 inch card. But that's also something that you can usually adapt to what you want. Like, there's nothing apart from the cover plate die. But then again, this one doesn't have an outer cut line. So you could also die cut a larger panel with this. And then the only thing would be the Santorini blue that gives you this kind of background that is A2 size, but everything else, you know, you can make it work for a different card size. Will there be any chance of this opening up again for people to sign up? It's not open yet, so it opens up tomorrow. The only reason why it shows as sold out is that we wanted you to be able to sign up for restock notifications and to be able to read the full event description before you sign up, so that you get an idea of what's included, what do you need, how is it going to work. But it's not sold out. Registration opens tomorrow at 9 a.m. CT. So you can set your alarms, you can sign up for the restock notification so that you get an email as soon as registration opens. When are the kits sent out? So right now, I think we are estimating kits to be sent out sometime late January. I think on the event page it says around between January 19 and 23rd. But again, you know, it's still a bit time until then. So this might change slightly, but usually there is enough time for you to prepare things, to do your homework, to go through the kit, you know, all of that. So right now it's like third week of January. What else? What else? Question. Okay, when will the kits be sent out? How many kits will be available? That's one thing I am gatekeeping. Anything else? Kathleen, you make unboxing so exciting. Thanks. I hope I did. I hope you are excited about this. I really am, and I really am excited about seeing the projects all of the other instructors are going to create. This is always, you know, that's a fun thing about also working behind the scenes, that I get to see the projects before everyone else, and can already ooh and ah over them. Registration stays open until we sell out. So yeah, just, you know, to calm your minds, we won't sell out on the first day. Like, you know, it's, or at least I don't think we will. I mean, it would be great, kind of. But you don't have to be like, you know, I mean, I would be quick. If you really want a spot in this event, then yes, sign up as soon as you can, because then you have your spot secured and you get all of the goodies that I've just shown you. So yeah. The class dates are February 21, 22, 2026. And hold on, I saw the winner. Trisha Hill, you are the winner for the free spot in the event. So make sure that you email customerservice@pinkfreshstudio.com to claim the prize, and then you can join us in the event. Okay. So I'm just checking real quick if I missed any more questions. And yeah. Oh yeah, Laura said, love your shirt, Kathleen. Yes, I wanted to mention that real quick. So this was actually a gift from Kinnery. When we were traveling, when I visited her or we were traveling to Dubai together. So for me, this has this kind of special connection to this sort of creative passport theme. So that's why I put it on today. Okay. 9 a.m. Central Time. How much homework in hours? I don't know, but it's not hours. It's not like you have to create half of the card beforehand. It's just things like maybe, you know, die cutting shadow layers, or maybe something like ink blending a background, maybe. But in the past, it was usually things like stamping and die cutting a sentiment, or maybe die cutting shadow layers, just preparing your card base and the card panel, you know, things like that. Nothing crazy. Okay. All right. I think that's it. I think that Kinnery and I answered all of the questions there are. If you're watching this on a replay and you still have questions, then please just leave a comment below the video. We are always checking the YouTube channel for any comments so that we can get back to you. Cost is $275. What time in EST? I don't know. You can put in 9 a.m. CT in Google and it gives you the exact thing. I don't want to give you a wrong time because right now we are already on, like in Germany, we already switched. We already like set our clocks an hour back. So I'm thoroughly confused this week when it comes to times and time zones. Okay. All right. Thank you everyone for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this closer look at the Create and Connect Creative Passport event kit. And I hope to see you all in February. And of course, we will share sneak peeks of the projects when it gets closer to the event. But keep in mind, all of the instructors also just got their event kits, so they still need some time to create the projects. But yes, we will share sneak peeks. Okay. Thanks so much, everyone, and have a great evening. Take care. Bye.